Hello class, my name is Comfort Johnson. My portfolio or my project was about veterans and their political view. I picked this topic simply because I am a active duty Army soldier, and I was just curious to see if my hypothesis of soldiers generally are more conservative in their political views as opposed to the general public who are have mixed political views. So I began with the introduction, basically saying that there was a 2012 report that reported 10% of the U.S. Voters came from approximately 24 million troops and veterans, and many of the people's views of veterans was that they were made up of conservative voters. However, there wasn't a lot of data to actually back it up. So hence why I wanted to further investigate whether this hypothesis or this general, stereotype was true. The variables that I used for my data was veteran years and political views. The veteran years were basically how many years the participants served in the military. The level of measurement was ordinal, and the veteran years was my independent variable. The answer category was either none, less than 2 years, 2 to 4 years, more than 4 years. And you can see the data here. And then my dependent variable was political views. And this is where you can see that they have a choice to place themselves on a scale from either extremely liberal, slightly liberal, moderate, slightly conservative, or extremely conservative. You can see the data here. One thing that I have to mention is that many of the people that participated under veteran years served 0 years in the military. So I am new to the whole statistics thing, and I kind of knew that it was going to skew the results, but hey, this was one of the only variables that I had to choose from in regards to military personnel. So this is the actual political view table right here. I will post the whole portfolio, so if you want to see that in more detail, you can. So the first, chart that I did was a pie chart, and the pie chart represented the independent variable of how many years that respondents spent in the armed forces. The data is needed to determine if the respondent is indeed a veteran. And you can also see here that it shows that the sample of the veteran is very small. Most of this area is blue, which symbolizes 0 years in military service. And then the next one I did was a histogram that shows the dependent variable political views of what respondents from the GSS dataset said, and the data clearly shows that majority of the respondents believe themselves to be moderate. And then this is the cross tabulation. Again, the data might be a bit skewed for the cross tabulation because of the amount of years. Majority of the respondents said that they were in service, which was 0. Well, after totaling the number of actual veterans, the data shows as follows: extremely liberal 6, liberal 25, slightly liberal 21, moderate 79, slightly conservative 27, and conservative 41, extremely conservative 10. Overall, there are still slight more people that view themselves as moderate, with a total of 79 veterans. And 78 veterans view themselves within the conservative spectrum, and 52 veterans viewed themselves within the liberal spectrum. So my hypothesis was veterans' political views will be more conservative than it will be moderate or liberal. The null hypothesis is the opposite, which is there is no statistical significant relationship between veterans and their political views. Veterans will not show to be more conservative than it will be moderate or liberal. The significant level I chose was 0.05, and I used the ANOVA to conduct my analysis, and the SIG here is 0.529. So this means that I reject the null hypothesis and accept the hypothesis. With ANOVA, if the significance level is 0.05 or less, then the variance should be considered different, making ANOVA's best test unusable. So again, I feel like with the ANOVA, this would mean that there is a relationship between veterans of the armed forces and their political views. The measure of association is here, and the purpose of this crosstab is to measure the correlation between a person's political views and their years in service. It is best measured using the gamma value of 0.122, meaning that we improve the guess of a veteran's political view by nearly 0.122% based on the gamma chart. It seems that the relationship is fairly strong. And the ending of my portfolio, I used 2 peer reviews. The first one was about a research surveying active duty soldiers and officers to examine the way Hispanics are assimilated into the Army in comparison to the experiences of their white and black counterparts using a probable sample. In this, there wasn't a clear nor a focused research question. However, the second research topic that I found that closely related to mine was an article about how military cadets viewed themselves as individuals, as well as how they viewed other people as a distinct group. and as well as how they see other subcultures within society, mostly civilians. And by examining the way cadets view themselves, they can see, or they can attempt to see, whether or not the military population perceives themselves differently than their civilian counterparts. They did find that many cadets perceive themselves as more conservative than other civilian peers in society, but yet as a group, they are more moderate in political views. So this concludes my my research topic. I hope everyone enjoyed the mini presentation. I know I don't know what I was doing majority of the time. I just went through what the book said to do and the examples that my fellow classmates and the teacher gave. And hopefully this makes sense. If there are any suggestions or comments, I would be very happy and appreciative if you did leave them to me. Thank you.